So we are going to be doing the knee program. So this is for anyone who has any issues with their knee in relation to stabilising or strengthening it, or just finding the connection in the whole leg. If you need to, this is just an overview of it. So you really should have gone through all of this with an instructor so they can make it specific to you. This video is just to remind you so you don't forget any little bits and pieces. But please remember, you should have gone through it with an instructor before doing it, just to pick up your little individualities with it. Also, there is a rolling component, roll and release component to this program that you need to view in another footage. And also that should be done before you actually do these exercises so that the tissue is ready to move, load and unload in relation to it. So we're going to start down. So the first one that is done in this program is clams. So this is to get your glute awareness. So from here you would be in this position. The instructor would have pointed out some of the aspects that you need to focus on depending on what is specific to your body and what it may not be using or overusing. And then from here, you're going up and down with that top leg. Breathe out. But we are doing this to create an awareness through this glute muscle. Or glute complex, I should be saying, with your rotators. So once again, make sure you've gone through this with an instructor, because there is a lot of fine-tuning things individually that an instructor would pick up with that. Once we've done that one, then coming up and you're going over to the wall. Now we want to establish a foot to core connection or a foot to glute connection from here. So we want to second toe going forward, hands on the wall from here, and then you're up and down. Going up and down, having that connection from your feet to your glutes. From there. After you've done 10 repetitions of those, very much being aware of that foot to glute to core, then you're going to put the ball in between your ankles, and from here you're going up and down. This is to establish a muscle called posterior tibialis in, so it's operating a bit better. After you've done 10 of those, you move on to one foot. You're up and down 5 times on one side, up and down 5 times on the other stand, making sure that you're getting the connection right through from your foot into your glute. After you've done that, we're moving on to our more about isometric. It's isometric in the sense of it, with a slight movement, but not enough movement that you would call it concentric or eccentric. So from here, you are establishing your movement through short foot. So short foot, once again, an instructor would go through how to do short foot properly, and your glute. The very, very small movement to almost be isometric is happening at the foot and at the glute, not at the knee. Buckets are tall, eyes must be up for all of this program. You must be positioned so you've got your center of gravity really nice. So I'm not doing this movement with my knee, I'm doing it with my foot and my glute. And you can barely see it happening. And then from here. After we do this one, then we want to, so that establishes lateral line and into the glute. We then want to come over and establish that connection with the foot and our VMO. So coming into our front leg muscles, from here, we're stretching out our toes, second toe goes forward from here, and we're pushing through the wall. I like to just have my fingers on top, and I'm establishing that push, getting this connection through to the front. And once again, movement is all about connecting the whole body together so it works in rhythm and timing with each other. So after I've done 10 of those, I'm then going to come up and I'm going to create some bigger movement with it. So coming into my band work, above the knee, not on the knee, up nice and tall from here, hands on your glutes from here, buckets are up nice and tall, and we're just going to work through. Now remember, this is an accumulative effect of all the movements we've done from the start. So we want to be very aware of the short foot, of the glutes. Good to put your breathing in. Your instructor will put your breathing and timing in with it. It's not a big step. I'm very aware of my feet, my glutes, my lateral line, my quads. I'm keeping space between my zone 1 and my zone 2 ribcage ring. Buckets are up nice and tall, center of gravity, and then I would step back the other way. After I've done that one, we then start to add the upper body into it. So we want an integration of everything. From here, spreading out the toe, coming back, elongate through, pushing through. So I'm getting that connection of my toe, foot, glute, and then up into my back functional line, which extends into my opposite arm. Push, breathe out. This can be done with a resistant band at home at a height, attaching it to a high connection point. After that, then we're coming in and we're starting to integrate our back into it as well. Doing dipping birds, sticks up nice and tall from here, up, finding that connection, going out, pushing the heel back, pushing the arms down, coming up, finding that connection through the whole body. Now remember, this is for the knee, but you need the whole body in awareness when you've got control through the knee. So you need the whole body to be able to create space and lightness so that that knee is not being loaded. So remember, we're all about connectivity. After you've done dipping birds, you might do 10 of those on each leg. Then the last one that we come into is what we call our toe taps. You can do this with hands on a wall and just tapping over to the side. So sticks are out. And now what we're getting our knee to do is to cope with a bit of bending. So a bit of where I'm taking my body and it's actually able to use a bit of spiral line movement. Because let's face it, our knees just don't have to cope with force going forwards and backwards. They have to cope with force going sideways. And that is our knee program.